So if you search on YouTube, how much does it cost to start Amazon FBA, you're probably going to get 1,000 different videos with 1,000 different answers. So most of the Amazon FBA gurus that make videos on YouTube, they're probably giving you false information. They're doing that usually for one of two reasons. So the first reason is that they want to make selling on Amazon sound cheaper than it actually is. Because they know that you probably don't have a massive budget. They want you to think that you can afford to buy their course and also have enough money to start selling on Amazon. So what they do is they tell you a number that's like really lower than the actual reality, so that the chance of you buying their course is way higher. Then the second reason is that genuinely they don't actually know themselves how much it costs to start selling on Amazon, because they themselves don't actually sell on Amazon. So honestly, you'd be surprised at the number of Amazon FBA gurus that are making videos on YouTube that don't actually sell or make money on Amazon. Their videos might be getting a lot of views, but in reality, they don't really know what they're talking about. So I'm going to give you a rule of thumb so that you can understand it once and for all, because I actually want you to start selling on Amazon. I actually want you to have success. And in order to do that, you actually need to know the truth, right? The reality is that if 1,000 people, for example, they watch this video, it's probably going to be less than 1% that will actually go on and launch a product on Amazon. But for those people, I want to make sure that you actually understand what it takes and how much it costs for real. So the rule of thumb to know how much you're going to actually need to launch a product on Amazon is that you're going to need at least 80% of your target monthly revenue to properly launch a product. So for example, if you're looking at a product and you think that you can do maybe $10,000 a month in revenue, you're going to need at least $8,000 to launch it. Now I know that's probably more than what you've been told in other videos, and it might be a bit of a shock, but that's because of the two reasons that I just mentioned. So this $8,000, it's going to cover the cost of your first product order and to be able to manufacture the product and ship it from China to the US, but it should also cover the cost of your second order. And this is the bit that most Amazon gurus, they miss out and they don't really talk about. What they'll do is they'll tell you that you're going to need, let's say, 300 units at $10 a unit. So they'll say that you need $3,000 to make your first order. But what they don't tell you is that when you sell those 300 units out, you're not actually going to get any cash back from those sales in the first month. So you're going to sell all of those 300 units, but then you're not actually going to have any more money to reorder more stock. So this doesn't mean that you need $8,000 to start selling on Amazon. It just means that you need to pick a niche that matches your budget, and you need to be very careful about what niches you go into. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to enter a niche, for example, where there's sellers doing $100,000 a month or more when you've got only $5,000 to invest. Because if you do that and your product launch goes really well, then you're going to almost instantly run out of stock, and then you're left with no cash. So what you should do instead is look at niches where the top sellers are doing maybe $5,000 to $8,000 a month in revenue. Now I know those numbers are not as sexy as when you look at a niche and you see people are doing $150,000 a month. But what it means is that you're actually going to have enough money to launch in that niche properly. And also generally, these smaller niches, they're much easier to have success in. So I'm not going to go into the details of absolutely every cost of starting an Amazon business. I'm not going to tell you how much it costs us to make a logo and to create your Amazon seller account. Because what you can do is use this rule of thumb, the 80% rule of thumb, to understand how much it will cost to launch into any niche with almost any product. What we do actually have is a free launch budget calculator. So if you're interested in working all of this out down to the absolute penny, then check out the link in the description. And since now you know how much you're going to need for your budget, you should go and watch this video where I talk about how you can find your first product to start selling on Amazon.